Or really? Hello, everyone. Hi, how are you this evening? Today is Friday. Okay, I love Fridays. I like now each day of the week. I really do. Then I find something to like about it. Sometimes you have to find something to like about it. So, anyway, here we are. Okay, this is a podcast. It is the Autistic Movement, and we have lots of goodies for you. We're still getting our paperwork together. Okay. I said that we needed a few weeks to do this. So, let's see. Okay. So, we are speaking about today understanding individual needs. Okay. In the autistic community. So, what I want to let you know is this is positive. Everything is positive here. If it's a negative, we're going to turn it around to a positive because negativity gets us nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Okay? You got to keep going. You got to push through. Okay? And that's what we are here for. We are guides for you. Uh, this series is a guide for the young uh, and uh, I don't know what you would call a young adult still. Okay, so he is still a young adult. Okay, this is his podcast. So I am here for the parents. Okay, so I'm gonna have like a whole other different thing going on. Okay, but really, in all actuality, this is his podcast to where he can speak with the young adults and really kind of take care of them, and they kind of like move together and everything and lean on one another and stuff like that. And, just a nice, friendly, positive atmosphere. And I feel like that's what the kids need today, especially in autistic child trying to find his way in a neurotypical community. That's got to be the hardest thing because they just throw them in there and that is it. So, um, even if they're put in a classroom together, they are still uh, dominated by the neurotypical community within that school system. So, the best thing I feel is inclusive community, inclusive school to where they can lean on one another and gain strength and positivity. That's what we're about, okay? And we have so many different components, okay, going on right now. And once we just uh, gather and just uh, do this, it's huge, okay? So, um, it's not just one thing that you will, you know, have to gain positivity and everything from. It's going to be a community of different things to do. Uh, and also, this is for the parents, the community of the parents that have autistic children. Okay, the ones that are struggling, trying to understand, trying to go to work every day, fight the traffic, or even if you're at home, you're still being micromanaged under the, as far as at a computer, and everything. Even if your child is at home, it's a little better because you don't have to fight that traffic. Okay, but I know You need to know that your child is in an inclusive environment, a protected environment, that you will know that your child is a the freak okay. Okay. You will know that your child is okay because being parents of autistic kids, we worry even more when our child is in another setting. All right. So they need to be in an environment where they're learning from each other, learning the important things that they need to do. Okay, not just some class that they sit in all day and they don't gain any, they still feel vulnerable. They don't feel, uh, they need to learn and do more than what they're doing, not just be in a classroom. I'm trying to pick my words because I don't want to offend anyone outside of the autistic community as well. That's not what this is about. It is about positivity within our community, which sometimes we don't have. The parents, again, like I said, are rushing back and forth, worried about their child. Don't some don't understand what their child has been through that day. So yeah. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get to this, and I'll read the first one to Sarah's. Okay, let's see. Understanding individual needs. Each person with autism is unique, so it's important to understand their specific needs, strengths, and challenges. Some individuals may prefer structured and predictable activities, while others may enjoy flexible and spontaneous interactions. Take the time to learn about the person's preferences and sensitivities. So I knew right away that this Sarah's needed a flexible, um, uh, and he needed spontaneous, flexible interactions. Each parent, all parents, you know what your child needs. Okay. Me, I'm old school. So I knew what he needed, when he needed it. Somehow it was almost like a mental telepathy going on. But I was just so mesmerized by who he who he is, as a child growing up. Uh, I was just really interested, really intrigued. So that was me. That's what I did, and I knew. Um, so it does say here, take the time to learn about their preferences and sensitivities. Okay, so I know a lot of you parents. I know you may have a mixture. You may have neurotypical and autistic. So just be mindful of that, okay? All right. And I know you're working hard out there. I know you are. Okay. Go ahead.
Says choosing appropriate activities. Consider activities that align with the individual's interests and abilities. For example, if someone has a specific interest in art, they might they may they might enjoy joining an art class or participating in a local art group. Other options could include sports, teams, music classes, theater groups, or hobby clubs. Look for activities that have a supportive and inclusive environment.
Again, here we go. So what say you to Sarah's?
To engage in doing things that I do enjoy doing work. Uh, yeah, I think it will be beneficial for autistic people to join groups that may benefit them or benefit their interests.
Well, back then, we did not, and I did research. I looked found in magazines and things like that. So there were not uh, any theater groups or hobby clubs at the time. He was in a group um, that was inclusive for autistic kids, but I question the director of that because the parents didn't really know each other, wasn't exchanging any phone numbers or anything like that. And I asked her why. How could why was that not being done? I just did not understand. Okay, so it it just didn't make sense to me. And they would, they were not allowed to. Even the kids didn't have the kids exchanging any phone numbers or anything. They'll go on a couple of field trips. How many field trips did you go on?
I forgot how many. I think. Uh,
Well, I can't answer because you were there for it.
I can think of. Oh yeah, you're talking about the group. I remember at least one or only one. For sure.
Okay, so one. And a span of how long were you in there? So this was given through the school. Okay. This wasn't an individual anything. This was given through the school. So you went on one field trip in a span of how long?
In a span of, I think it was an hour. Or
It was in an hour, but how long did it last? Was it 3 months, 4 months?
no, it was just 30 minutes.
No, you're not understanding what I'm saying. Okay, so during that school year, did you go through this the whole school year?
No,
Half a school
no.
year? How many months?
One. I don't exactly know what you're saying.
Okay, all right. So when you went to school to Sarah's, they took you out after this was after
Oh,
school,
you're talking about school to that place. It was a span of 3 months.
3 months,
Yes,
and you went on one field trip.
yes.
And what did you do during the other part? What did you do when they took you and they took you to the other school and you were in that classroom?
It was just socializing with the other kids.
Okay, so you socialized.
Uh,
What kind of socializing did you do? Did it help you?
I don't think that it helped me as much as speech class or anything.
Right. And yeah, speech is something totally different. So, because I had Sarah's taking speech at home, and uh, like he would be in daycare, I had him doing that and taking speech at school. But the daycare, I had problems with it because it didn't want me to do that, you know. Uh, and that's a whole big thing right there. And I'm going to tell all the parents about it. The Sirius already knows about it. And he already knows what I'm going to say about it, you know. But yeah, but the school, he just said he didn't really get any help or, but y'all, you said was that where you socialized?
I have socialized with other kids.
But did that help you
No, no.
because of the way that it was done?
I think it was too fast. Was what I think.
And too fast and not really encouraged. Okay, so just our community, we will be doing something totally different from that. All
Was
right, it's going to have a main focus on the kids, and I say this because it wasn't done. I had some uh, talks with the director uh, that after day school thing. Okay, I I can say some really bad things, but I'm not going to do that. The thing is to recognize, and I did. So I've moved on, you know, but I did. I left the series in there, for those months, in hope that there would be some type of change, you know, something that he would be getting from it. And I didn't see any change whatsoever. It wasn't, it was, no, I won't say that. Let me go ahead and go. So anyway, what we would have set up is something that is geared towards the autistic community. Okay, it would be something like a curriculum, but not a curriculum. When the kids would come there, they will engage in something that is specifically for them. Are you going to sleep today?
oh,
Okay, sit up in your chair. Okay, so that is it for that. Okay, and it's true that they do have, the Sarah's and I would get these giant coloring books, and we would get the biggest color. We would go and pick out like the biggest. That's when we had a Kmart here. I don't know if I can say the name, but I just did. So, but we would go to Kmart, and then Kmart closed down, so we went to Walmart. Did we go to Walmart too, or was this mostly Kmart? You don't
I
remember that? You don't even remember the names, do you? You don't remember the name Kmart because he
okay.
was really young.
Okay.
You do remember? Okay, all right then. So we would just go and get the biggest coloring thing of crayons. If it's 108 crayons, oh yes. Okay, the more the merrier. And then this gave him the opportunity. He was learning the names of the colors. I think his favorite one was, it wasn't indigo. What was the other, sepia? Oh my goodness. He just, marveled in sepia. Oh, sepia this. And I think he had a delight in words. Thank goodness. And so I taught him how to break the words down and yeah, sepia was his favorite. You have some other favorite colors, Sarah. Do you remember that?
Uh, uh,
You want to elaborate?
I it was Purple Mountain. Uh, it was a light purple color.
It's a light purple color. Okay, so yeah, so we did that, and it was an opportunity for him to break down the syllables and the words and learn to say it. And I believe that is where he really got a love for words, because he was able to break it down at that point. And then he started looking them up like in a dictionary. I had gotten a computer at the time, and I forgot what the computer is. It's like it has like a brand. It looks like a cow. Patches is this black and white, and I forgot the name of it, and I should, but the series just took over my computer. Mostly he just took over everything. Okay, so but anyway, and then he found his love for researching and analyzing. Okay, so he was the one that needed that flexibility in order to be creative, and that's what he did. Okay, so yeah, you know, it's like it's sticky. Feel it right there. Okay, let's see. Okay, social skills training series.
Social skills training. Many individuals with autism benefit from social skills training, which can help them develop and improve their ability to interact with others. Social skills groups or therapy sessions specifically designed for individuals with autism can provide structured opportunities to practice social skills such as initiating conversations, taking turns, or understanding nonverbal cues. I think that this could help.
Well, that was supposed to be the group that you were in.
Yeah,
That was supposed to be the classes that you were in.
yeah.
Okay. So I truly believe in this. I truly believe in inclusiveness. Okay. It may be even a way that even a nonverbal child, uh, by this child having, being around kids that are verbal, you know, he would maybe think it's a safe haven for him to speak and around kids that would kind of like take him in as a friend. You know what I'm saying? Because they're being taught this. If you take a child from very early and if you teach them to be kind to kids and everything, especially in the autistic, the kids, would take the child in and maybe pull that verbal part out, okay? Because anyone who is around his own peers and you have a group of really nice peers, what are you gonna do, Sarah? You're gonna gravitate to that, right?
Yes.
So I'm not saying it will work, but I'm saying it should be done. Anyway, if this child is nonverbal, this child should be around kids within the autistic community, and they should definitely be kept an eye on. Okay, so no one would be picking at anyone. All right, and they would be in an environment, an inclusive environment, learning things that they need to learn at that age. Okay, kind of like get the other kids to talk to this child and bring out their verbal part. All right. So yeah. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. Start small and build up. Begin with smaller social activities or settings that are less overwhelming. For instance, attending a small gathering or meeting a friend one on one may be more manageable initially. As the individual becomes more comfortable, they can gradually participate in larger group activities or events, but still in the inclusive environment. Okay? I believe in it. I believe that all of these kids need to be in an inclusive environment so we can pull those special abilities out of their child, arts and crafts and uh, daily life, growing things and learning how to cook so that they will not hurt themselves. I mean, that's a little bit older, but anyway, I'm just saying, these things, they need to learn life skills as early as possible. They need life skills. So if that means planting and your food and growing your food, let it be done. Okay? So this is what these kids need to do. They don't need history and all the rest of this kind of stuff. That's not going to help them. I don't even know why they even teach it right now. I mean, don't get me wrong, history is good, you know, for some people, okay? But all in all, these kids need to learn how to socialize and how to save themselves, okay? If they are approached by policemen, these kids need to have paperwork down at the police department that will already identify them. So, that's the way that I'm thinking. Things like that. Or if this is a kid, you have to be careful of how you approach these kids. Don't approach these kids, and kill them, okay? Because these kids have a time. They have, how do I say it? It's something that they have that they really can't get their words out. So the police department need to be mindful of that, or just not just leave these kids alone. No guns on kids. Period. No guns on kids. Okay? That's what I would like to put forth. Okay? And maybe a couple of more things. All right. You're next. You can go next to Sarah.
Says visual sports. Visual sports like schedules, social stories, or visual cues can be helpful in preparing individuals with autism for social activities. These visual aids provide predictability and can reduce anxiety by outlining what to expect and how to navigate social situations.
Yes. I agree. Okay. Let's see. Visual supports. Yes. I like the part where it says the social activities, or just have social time, reading time, things like that. Um, Visual aids, pictures, anime, right? Teaching the kids through anime, okay? Not just regular cartoons, all right? Because do you think that so you looked at, I let you watch a lot of cartoons because I was right there watching it with him, okay? And I knew the racy cartoons apart from, the other cartoons. So some things I let him watch, so he can be kind of like ahead of the game, or or more than an average bear, so that he can learn on different levels. But I was there watching it with him, seeing his reaction and explaining things as we watched the different cartoons, because these cartoons these days are just racy. Even back then, it was getting like that then. It wasn't like when I grew up. I was just looking at the Jetsons and the Flintstones. And then they started making other uh, cartoons that were racy. It's too much information, for kids. So the series seemed to have taken it well, so I let them watch it. But it's up to each parent. Now, would I have an inclusive school that would do something like that? Mm-mm, no way. I mean, we would probably go right back to the Jetsons. Watching the Jetsons and watching. Are you asleep? Yeah, you are. I seen you. And then to think about how you look on camera sleep, because you was like, but your eyes are closed. You was like, but you had a funny face to it. Okay, you'll see it when you go back. But anyway, yeah. So I would go back to the Stone Age, me. Because I want a child to have a certain amount of innocence. Period. Okay. And while learning how to grow things and doing other than shooting bows and arrows and things like that. Maybe they need to kill an animal. Well, heavens forbid. But we maybe we need to teach our kids. Hey, that's an idea. Maybe we need to teach our kids the importance of uh, plant food. You know, and how to cook plant food and teach them the vitamins that are in the plant foods. Okay, so yeah. So let's see what else we have. I will read this. You want to read it so you want to go to sleep?
Or
Okay, go ahead.
collaborate with support professionals, work closely with professionals such as therapists, educators, or support workers who have experience in supporting individuals with autism. They can provide guidance, strategies, and resource tailored to the individual's needs.
Okay. Support professionals. Okay, I have to find out what that is. What is a support professional? I guess a professionals like speech therapists that can support uh, the groups. And of course, we would have speech therapists, occupational therapists, what have you. Okay. It says work closely with professionals such as therapists. Yeah. Educators or support workers. Okay. Who have experience in supporting individuals with autism. I wholeheartedly believe in that. That is definitely what I would have. Um, and it says they can provide guidance, strategies, and resources tailored to the individual. I believe in that. Okay. Yeah, I believe in that. But although the series had a coach teacher, I pushed against it. I started pushing against it when he was in. When did I start pushing against that series? What grade were you in?
I think it was high school, maybe 10th grade.
Oh no, no. It was before the end of the series.
Yeah,
You
so
got all those awards in ninth grade.
I still had co-teachers.
You did not have a coach teacher in ninth grade.
Yes, yeah, I
The
remember her. I
series
remember her name was Holt. Yeah.
in ninth grade.
Yes,
Okay, that's why I started pushing against it, y'all. Okay, it didn't make sense to me. I said, okay, this co-teacher is not going to be there after he graduates. I pushed against that, and you stopped having co-teachers in ninth grade, correct?
I still had some in 10th grade.
No, you didn't.
No,
No, no. You just sleepy.
I know their names.
It don't matter. You don't know the grade.
It was 10th grade. It was
Who has a co-teacher in 10th grade?
it was in it was
Well,
in
they were doing something there because I told them
uh,
when you were at that table and you told me you were doing because I would ask them in the evening time. I said to Sarah, I said, you did your homework? Yeah, Mom, I did my homework. I did it in what, homeroom, right?
or
But he lied, and his teachers didn't think that he could talk. That was no, I pushed against that. That was early, like in seventh and eighth grade,
or-
right? I know, I was there. I couldn't believe what was happening. That they didn't even know that my son could talk. Boy, look, I am putting out a book, and it is a doozy. It is a doozy. And see, the crazy part of it is that I understand because you're out there, you're working, pay the bills, put food on the table. You know, when you get home, all you want to do is take a shower, go to bed. You can't do that. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all a few things. I'm gonna tell y'all a few tricks and how to do this. Raise your kid, you and your husband. It has to be an inclusive environment to where the parents can get together, and have fun. Even though the parents could put the kid there and go somewhere, we're going to make it so much fun until the parents are not going to want to leave to go anywhere. That's going to be their breathing point as well, and still be with the kids. And if they have a mixture of neurotypical kids and autistic kids, even the neurotypical kids are going to have a good time. It's going to be the place to go. Okay? All right, y'all. So, let me see. Where are we right now, Sarah?
is finished.
It's, it's finished. What time is it?
It is 7:43.
Okay. All right. So, of course, the podcast is going to be longer. Okay, but we have like, a little time. We're trying to get everything that we can in. So when we go, we are going. Okay, it's not going to be some itty bitty thing. Okay, because my mind and it's much bigger than that. My mind is big, and that's what I want to put forth is my mind and my heart. This is a passion for me. So with my passion, now I will align it what with what God and the universe wants for this. Okay, that's how I want it concentrated on. That's how big I want this to be. Is that this may be my passion, but it is going to be aligned with God and the universe. So we want epic, okay? And we want to have it in every city, all right? And then we want to start putting the schools everywhere, you know, and even the neurotypical environment would probably have an opportunity. I'm sure they would probably want to take on some of the things that we do because it's going to be that awesome. Okay, maybe even the neurotypicals. And then the neurotypicals who want to come into the inclusive environment uh, that the autistic community will have is going to be much welcome. Okay, because maybe that maybe that parent don't want their kids to go in an environment, you know, then they want to be in our environment. They don't want to be in a neurotypical environment. They want to be in our environment. And it's going to be absolutely nothing wrong with that. Okay? So, 'cause you know, this is just for all the kids. Again, and, this is for the Sarahs. And right now, he's like in a sleepy state only because there's no people here really that he can talk to, right? Kids or adults that he needs to address. So right now, this is a run that we're doing, to get us acclimated to the podcast, okay? Because again, he's not this social person, but now he has every opportunity to be that social person, and then he's going to have friends through Skype and Zoom, that he can that everybody can talk. Everybody can talk, not just him, okay? But he's sort of like the ringleader, you know, the person that says, hey, let's do this, y'all. Let's learn together. So he could say, well, what say you? What say you? Things like that. There's one thing I have seen is that people in the autistic community, they listen to each other. You know, all of them are chiefs, and so that's already understood. So it's not as far as they're concerned, there are no Indians. There are only chiefs, right, Sarah? Okay, no one is trying to be over anybody else. You know, they just want a good environment. That's all that they want, people. Or just a good environment. They don't want all this everything else. The fighting that these kids do, the drugs that they have going around the school. Wake up! They don't want all this fighting in the school and everything. Okay. Okay. So have I talked enough? And you said it. Okay. Y'all see how honest they are. Okay. They don't care. You ask them a question. Hey. You just stepped there, maybe you didn't want to, maybe you should have thought about it first, okay? But they would tell you, but it's not out of spite that they speak. Isn't it a beautiful thing? It's not out of spite, it's just out of honesty. Who don't want an honest friend? I don't want somebody to tell me, oh, you look really nice today. And, you look like a quack or something. Like you look like Miss Quackadoodle. So they're going to tell you, if they pause, they don't want to hurt your feelings. Okay? But anyway, he's right. I've talked much enough. And I believe we had a good podcast today, don't you? Okay, so we are through with that. And peace out, everybody. Talk to you tomorrow. Frank and Lou, hi, darlings. Okay, take care of yourself. Have a good time. And, we'll talk later. Okay? All right. Thank you. Like, share, like,